Hello everyone, and welcome back. My name is Tuxedo Ian, and we are getting back into our playthrough of Book of Hours today. This will be part 21, and we are right in the middle of summer, and we've opened up most of the church on the top of the Hush House, and so now we're probably going to be seeing if we can push farther to the eastern or the western side and open up the Curcubit if we can. So let's dive in and see what we can get done today. Welcome back. Everything is remembered. Hush House endures. Let's see, what timers do we have going here? Okay, we were reading Gospel of Nicodemus, an apocryphal account of the works and experiences of the shepherd Illuminate by one of his supposed companions. Let's see, what else do we have here that's possible to read? Tantra of Worms, Malachite Supplications, Temptations of Architecture. So let's see what we can... We also have a Pearl and Tide lesson to apply. So we'll wait for the day to tick over and we'll see about getting that Malachite Supplications read. Okay, so we are going to need a moon memory, so we'll get a seventh voice going again. Getting a lot of use out of that one. And I think we'll go ahead and we'll post our letter to Arthur so we can go ahead and learn Sabazine from him. Patience, thus the mountain awaits the fall of the snow, thus Monday waits the death of the weekend, thus the postmistress waits for me to purchase the necessary stamp. Stamp, envelope, and send. Arthur Moore incoming. So he will be able to teach us how to read Sabazine, an enigmatic language. And we got some clouds today. We might be able to make use of those. Moth and Moon. And there we have finished reading Gospel of Nicodemus. Inventori lucis sola invicto nuntio, reads the dedication, loosely translatable as, I am the herald of the sun unconquerable, light's contriver. This is a variation on the more usual Invicto Augusto, the declaration which united the eastern and western traditions of the Church Solar. The Shepherd Illuminate, the Virgin born, well, I guess we know who that's supposed to be, warns of the sun's division, promises its ultimate reunification in the second dawn through the ministry of Saint Uzult. Uzult is, of course, the ink of power used by the librarians of the tree, but also venerated as a saint in some borderline heterodox solar traditions. This has given us a lesson in Sacra Solis Invicti, and a memory of Revelation. So we will mark that with Revelation. And we can put this up here. Show that this is a red pile here now. So 10 Forge, we might be able to get to that. And let's see what Oriflammes is offering us this season. The Most Sorrowful End of the Lady Nana, an unauthorized account of the death of Abbess Nana, written by Eusebia, one of the two sisters accused of having murdered Nana through poisoning and arts unsanctioned. Eusebia, awaiting execution, intends to hide this account in her cell. Well, it's a good thing we learned how to read Kennewick, because this is written in Kennewick, and it's 4 nectar, and herbs and infusions, a skill we do not have. We have plenty of Spintria, so we will go ahead and buy that, because it only costs us 4, and we have 11. Oriflammes, thanks you for your custom. Let's see now. Can we read either one of these? Sky 10. Sky 10. Might be tricky there. Okay, and we are already developing one Pearl and Tide there. So Pearl and Tide is going up to level 4, so we're going to need 4 memories. So we can start with that. We can start there. So Pearl and Tide is Moon and Rose. So we can get Book of the Centipede for Intuition. That gives us 1. The Clouds gives us 2. We can start a book up here with our other core. And we can do See Does Not Regret for a moon. And then the last one we can do, we will do Almanac of Entrances once we have a free desk. Speed up to 2x, just to get things done a little faster. Alright, so Pearl and Tide is now level 4. We have Memory Pattern that we saved overnight. Because we do have a knock room here. Yes, we do. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get Father Timothy out. Actually, we'll use a whist, because we only have the one Faust, because whist works just as well. We do appreciate the contribution. And we can use the pattern to get him to knock 3. We can use our shaft to get him to knock 5. And let's see if we have something we can use to get him. Yes, we do. We have the cuckoo honey. The tea. We can use the tea. The second flush of some. Do we have some already made, or do we need to make some? Or we could use the candle. We can actually use this candle. That'll work. That'll actually save us our shaft. But I'll start making the tea. Use a whist for that. Bring water to the boil. Permit the potential here to express itself. Alright, so there is a confounding parable for us. And let's see. So we want to read Malachite Supplications, so we're going to need confounding parable. We're going to need... Well, Pearl and Tide will need Rose, so we have Fet for that. So we'll need Trist. And then we need our skill. So Moon is Inks of Containment. Brings us to 8, and that's enough. We can read this, we can master this mystery. Alright, so we'll give him this Moth Orchid Scented Candle. A light for dark places. I can offer my assistant a candle. This will increase their aspects. They'll keep any candle stumps that might be left over. And this will get him to knock 5. And yes, so second flush of some, this will get him to knock 6. Pour out, pour it out. Arthur has received our invitation. So he can hang out for just a minute while we finish up with Reverend Timothy. So there's 1. There's 2. 3 from the clouds. We need 1 more memory. We can do a 7th voice again. And while we're doing that, we can go ahead and acquire Sacrosolus Invicti. Every candle has its shadow. This has improved their aspects appropriately. And then we'll give him something to drink. So 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we can get there to listen to that phonograph. Sacra Solus Invicti, the rites of the Church of the Unconquered Sun and certain secrets of the gods from light. 2 lantern, 1 sky, and it is effective against curses. We can plug this into Illumination or Horomachistry, but we'll hold on to that for now. Alright, down to the Grushians. So now we can start talking to Lieutenant Moore. Good day to you. May I come in? My visitor can teach me the rudiments of this enigmatic language, Sabazine. After tutoring you, they will leave even if they arrived on other business. And so now we can start having Reverend Timothy open up the serpent-haunted bedroom. Bright-scaled, watchful snakes lie coiled on every surface. I think some of them might be real. So let's see, the next thing we're going to need 10 winter or 10 moon, or 9 sky and 9 rose. So we have the barber has moth and rose. So that would be 3, 4, 5, 6. Not sure how we get him to 9. One thing we can do is we can start opening some of these. So something shipwrecked. What ship lost this? Or this one, which would be something. Well, we can open up this one and see what was lost in a shipwreck. Oh, that would be 2 more there, so that would be 8. Well, we'll figure out a way to get to 9 there. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So as soon as we are done opening this package, we can upgrade Pearl and Tide to level 5. Alright, so we finished reading Malachite Supplications. Prayers addressed to the Malachite by the Sisterhood of the Triple Knot. If we should flourish not, let our enemies flourish in that time when we are no more. One prayer describes how a strong degree of nectar aspect can be used with Lethe and Tridisma Hiera rites to bring forth the last nectar of the last history, the living ink, the ink in secret. Well, so that gives us a hint, so that we can make an ink out of Lethe using Tridesma Hiera. Alright, so that gives us 2 lessons in Tridesma Hiera, and it gives us a memory impulse. So moth, we'll have to use this desk up here to mark that with moth. There we go. And we can just set this over here for now. We found some forsaken passages. They plead mutely to be opened. No one else ever cared to. Alright, so we'll just put these back on the shelf here for now. Oriflammes thanks you for your custom. Most sorrowful end of the Lady Nana. So that we can definitely read. That's easy enough. Get our change of an iron spintria. Let's see now. So we have finished with that. We can start learning our next lesson of Pearl and Tide. Oop, not Ornoscopy, Pearl and Tide. Pearl and Tide, Clouds, Salt, Vision, Computing Parable, and a Fete. So satisfying to have come so far. Okay, so let's see. So we have this, what we'll need. We can, let's try and do it here. A half-familiar language. What is this? So there's our Kennewack. Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. So we can use our knife to get us 2 nectar. We can use our health to get us a 3rd nectar. And we just need 1 more. We can use this memory impulse. Actually, we'll have to do... What we'll go up here for that. That will work. There we go. There's our 4 nectar. I can master this mystery. And Reverend Timothy has finished his work. We have the Violet Chamber. In the days of the dwarfs, this chamber was reserved for the lady of the house. Later, the librarian William Harries and Gervinus Van Loren both preferred it to the librarian's quarters. Harries established a little shrine to St. Agnes in the far corner, and there it remained for many years until Van Loren ordered it to be removed. So we have a painting of Mademoiselle Matutine, an alluring young woman with deep blue eyes, hard and dark as sapphires. Oh, and finally we have a knock piece of furniture. Chase Lounge of Conclusions. Here the librarian Van Loren lay to ponder the paradoxes he had inherited from Harries. A chair of challenges. Here the librarian Harries sat to formulate the paradoxes he would bequeath to Van Loren. Violet stool. Damson cushion. Hollywood marquetry. A watchful candle. Some Strathcone whiskey. The collector has collected a distillery, it seems. 2 scale, and nectar might come in handy. And we have a guest bed for the Violet Chamber. 6 generations of DeWolf heirs were born in this room. It would have been 7, but Haffron Waters had the ill grace to give birth to Baron Walter in, family legend has it, a cow byre outside Carisham. So we can put a knock, as would probably be expected from the purple color, we can put a knock visitor into this room to hold them over for a while. And the next room that is now available to us is the Icy Bedroom. A thick and freezing murk, like a clinging black mist, roils at floor level. Not theoplasma exactly, the ragged remnants of some chilly wood thing, or a good old-fashioned ghost decayed to half-elemental energies. Some local will probably know. So, 7 moth or 7 winter, so that's a job for Mr. Kill, or we can hire a barber to hopefully take care of that. But right now, we've got the rest of our day is going to be taken up with learning Sabazine. So let's see what else we might be able to get done. We need 10 forge. We can definitely get to 10 forge. So we will use, let's see, we need a forge memory. So where is our, no, not that one. There it is. So this will give us a foresight for 2. 4 from our 4 with metal. Five, 6, 7, 8. 9 with a tool. We can probably we'll figure it out. All right, Pearlintide is now level 5. 6 rose, 5 moon. So that should be able. So let's see what it can craft with moon while we're thinking about it. So moon gives us Eigengrau, heart gives us, or rose gives us a salt sign. All right. Eight scale. That one's going to be a little tricky. Alright, so now we can learn Tradesmachira. I know I was planning on doing a level of Hill and Hollow earlier, but I think I found a better use for that, and I can get more. Moon is pretty common for lessons, so I'm sure I'll be able to find another moon lesson here sooner or later. Another leaf on the Tree of Wisdoms, Tradesmachira. The rites of the Sisterhood of the Triple Knot, which include certain mysteries of the dwellers in the wood behind the world. Is Grail and Moon, and it's effective against curses, and it's for boss score preservation. Let's see then. So our force-up memory is just about done here. So we will need that, our metal. Spices and savors. That gets us to 8. And we can use this square to get us to 9. And we will read another book to get to 10. Or to get a memory for 10 here. So we still have a minute left, so we have plenty of time. So we'll read that to get us that. And plus we have items that we can use. And we also have, if it asks for just 1 point and asks for a soul fragment, we have Shapt. All right. So what do we need for Tantra of Worms? We only have 2, 3, 4. We need 5, 6. We could get to 6 with memories. So let's do that. So Whist and Singlefoot Songs. Alright, so we have now learned Sabazine. Thank you, Arthur. I've learned enough to puzzle out books in this language, although it might be slow going. There is a history where Alexander defeated the first the great knot of Sabazos, and then the King of Kings. There is another history where, instead, he learned from them. How many more? If we curl our hands into the correct shapes, we may yet understand. So this is a language that has 2 moth and 1 lantern, and it can be assigned to birdsong or horomakastry. So let's see what either of those would get us here, because we don't have anything on birdsong yet. We don't have anything on horomakastry yet, so we need to assign it to one of those. So if we go to birdsong, the Fisher's Tale. There is a story told by fisherfolk about a city of amber and orichalcum that lies behind the waves. Those who eat of its fruits can breathe water and drink light, but they can never drink anything else afterwards. Only in another history, they say, but if you tie your nets right, you might just catch one of its citizens in this history, and they might just tell you the way. Maybe give us some tryst, or if we assign it to horomakastry, the Sailor's Tale. There's a story told by sailors about a city of ivory and iron across the sea. Those who come there never die, but those who leave again have never lived. Only in another history, they say, but if you rig your sails right, you might just catch the wind that takes you there in this one. So that would give us another Fet. But it would also open up level 2 of horomakastry, which would then allow us to skip to level 3 of birdsong. So I think that's probably the faster play, because that lets us, instead of having to spend skills here, we'll be able to spend skills there instead. So we will assign that to horomakastry. And let's see, do we have something that can go into level 2 of horomakastry? We do. We have Sky Stories. We can put that there. It would give us another Fet. What else do we have? We have Great Signs and Great Scars. Give us Fet. Disciplines of the Hammer. Nope. Anbarian Lapidary. Would give us Fet. Looks like we have all the Fet skills right now. Well, that one would give us Metal. That one would give us Fet. So I think right now, of the ones we have, Sky Stories, we already have a better Sky skill and a better Rose skill, so we can go ahead and assign this here and take a Fet. The Pilgrim's Intrigue and the Grail's Scheme, the Sun and Shadow and the Forge Unseen, the Swan King and the Elgabalin. This is horomakastry. And the other place this one could go would be into Birdsong itself. A Thief of Sights, a Scavenger of Thrones. A Border Reaver and a Thief of Knots, a Thief of Colors, and a Thief of Bones. This is Birdsong. Yeah, we'll put that in here for the tryst. And get another Fet. That then opens up this level of Birdsong, which we can put Rhyme and Remembrance into. What we were, the shapes that loped beside you in the frost, the scraps you gleaned of Call and Periost. Once these were answers to what may be lost. All part of the matter we call birdsong. The other place that we could put this would be Skolakoscopy, which would get us an Arab. We already have 2 Arab, and we're not really using much. But a secrecy, knowledge, power. The sights we name are rarely named by day. The shapes we seek are rarely sought in clay. The names we claim are often claimed as pay. This is Skolakoscopy. So I think we'll put that into Birdsong instead and grab another tryst, because having some more Moth and Moon is never going to be helpful, especially since we have so many Moon skills that we can use. So we don't have anything that can go in Birdsong 3, in Birdsong 4. We do have something that could go in Horomachistry 3. We could put bells there and get another medal. This would also go into Ithistry, which would get us Whist. I think this is better off giving us a medal. The Toll. In the right mortal's hand, the right tool can become the weapon that begins a war. This is a high consequence of Horomachistry. If we were to put it to Ithistry instead, in the right mortal's hand, the right tool can become the weapon that ends a war. This is a high purpose of Ithistry. But we already have plenty of Whist, and I think I like the idea of using a bell to start a war more than ending a war, and we need the medal to work with it. So that gives us another medal we can use. So we have Horomachistry 4. We can put Oronoscopy in. We could get us another Fete. Inks of Containment would also go there and get medal. So far, let's see, what do we have that could go in Ithistry 2? We have Watchman's Paradox, Stitching and Binding, Inks of Revelation. Inks of Revelation, I think we'll hold off on assigning that one because we want that to go higher. Stitching and Binding would get us Whist. Watchman's Paradoxes goes to Illumination. But we want to unlock this first, so we can go straight to level 2 of Illumination. And Barian Lapidary would get us another Faust, but I think we want to get something that gives us another medal there. So we will hold off on that for now. So that gives us more than enough soul fragments to finish up this book once it gets to that question mark phase. Alright, so we have finished reading Most Sorrowful End of the Lady Nana. Nana has introduced Eusebia to an unsanctioned Thunderskin cult which meets in the caves below the abbey. There she and others perform sacred dances for the preservation of the kingdom. Eusebia claims that Nana asked her and another sister to prepare a lethe draught, which can be brewed from another beverage with herbs and infusions technique, and a sufficient quantity of nectar. Oh, there's our recipe for how to make lethe. For a rite, all three of them would perform below the abbey. Something goes awry. Nana is possessed of a tenebrous spirit, and the abbey brethren are forced to quell her with star iron. The other two are implicated as scapegoats, Eusebia implies, although she acknowledges her fault also. So you've got a memory impulse and a lesson on herbs and nectars. So we will mark this with impulse. And pop it down on our... we can pop it into the shelves here, because we already have several impulse, and we will acquire herbs and infusions. Alright, so what is this going to ask for? Soul! Well, good thing we got that extra medal. Okay, so there is our Savage Hymn. And we don't need the Foresight anymore. So we will grab this. And we will start reading the Tantra of Worms here. Actually, before we do that, let me see if I can find somewhere that gives me a health. We don't have anything. I know health comes from either Bosk or Preservation. Let's see, what do we have in Bosk that we could assign? Not a lot. No, we do have some level 1 Bosk stuff. Arab. Trades Mahira, Arab. Leaves and Thorns. Health. Well, we could go to Birdsong with it to get core. I think we need the health. But let's see, do we have... Rites of the Roots would also give us health. Oh, it would give us Arab. So I think what we're going to do, we'll wait until we can get Leaves and Thorns up to level 2, and then we will assign it here so we can do the skip. Because the only level 2 one would be Pearl and Tide, and that would be wasting it. Now, the Annals of St. Brandon's. I almost forgot we had that. So we can, actually, we could start reading that now. That will give us some more lessons on Inks of Containment. I think we'll hold off and use our Whist for that rather than a Faust. But let's come back, zoom over here. And it will ask us for a memory, or a piece of soul here. So we'll give it that new medal we just got. And that will give us 11. Yeah, that's good. So we have that. Let's go ahead and start trying to read Tantra of Worms here. Not going to be the most impressive, but we have... I think we can get there with a little bit of luck. So that gets us to 5 out of 8. Now we can try. If it asks us for soul, that'll give us 6. And if it asks for an item, that'll get us to 8. Or we should be able to get there. Okay, so let's hold over the memory foresight. Because we can't keep either one of those other ones. Alright, so there's our herbs and infusions. That can go to Bosk or Preservation. Pluck it, powder it, mix it, warm it, drink it. But not that one. And this one is effective against corruptions. Alright. Anything else we can do here? Well, so we do need to start reading Singlefoot Songs again. Whoop. Did not mean to grab the lamp there. We'll just put that back. Singlefoot Songs with our core. That'll give us 2 points. And we can come up here and read Stolen Histories, which will get us another 2 points. So if it asks us for 2 memories, we'll have that. Kindled Flame. Some sun. So let's see. We need 7 winter, 7 moth. Yeah, we can get there with winter, I believe, but it's going to take a minute. All right. So there we have finished reading The Temptations of Architecture. The antiquarian and nyctodromist Ambrose Westcott writes of the dangers of doors, with particular reference to a house in the bounds named Treowen. No doubt they have come to regret the ambitions of their winding stair. Even now in Treowen, a silver sea is unwisely visible from a rash window. Westcott explains that the Wheelocks, the charge holders of Treowen, have had recourse to dramatic measures to prevent oneric encroachment, removing the entire top floor of the building. Nevertheless, he writes, the business of the Moon Hall has begun to touch the other business of the house. So this has given us a lesson on door and wall and another secret threshold. This is another book that teaches a secret threshold. So we'll just mark that down. And we'll put that onto our special memories shelf, because that one is a little bit more... Put it right there. And collected Hush House lectures. That one will just pop back up here. Alright, and I think that for now, so let's see, we already have one door and wall, so we can use door and wall, a lesson, the secret threshold, and our chapter Khusus to level door and wall to level 2. That will let us put it in a new slot, or hopefully. But I think that's probably a good point to pause for now, and we will call it a day, and we will pick up here on the next video. So, thank you for joining me. If you've enjoyed what you've been watching, please leave a like or a comment. If you'd like to see more of these, subscribe, and I'll be posting these daily on Monday through Friday. And I will see you all next time.